Hey guys, today we're talking about my favorite topic, fragrances, and I'm going to give you my top 5 recommendations for the Sephora sale, and all of the information about the Sephora sale is going to be in the description box. And in my previous video, I gave you already my top makeup and beauty recommendations. So in case you're interested, I'm going to have a link to that video in the description box. But today we're talking all about the fragrances. Every time when there is a Sephora sale, I always try and make sure to buy 1 or 2 fragrances at least to expand my fragrance collection because I'm a huge fragrance lover. So in this video I'm going to share with you the top 5 fragrances that I think are worth the splurge and I think deserve to be part of anyone's fragrance collection. Let's get started. If that's your first time on this channel, welcome. I love talking about luxury, beauty and fragrances. If that sounds interesting, please make sure to subscribe and turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss future videos. Also, let me know in the comments below, what is your signature scent? Like, do you have a fragrance that you could call signature? Like, if you could only own one fragrance, and this is for all of you guys, let me know in the comments below, what is one fragrance that you can't live without? And the first fragrance recommendation that I have for you is from Chanel, and this is not going to be a surprise for a lot of you because you know that I love Chanel, and this is probably my #1 Chanel fragrance, and this is Allure Eau de Parfum. It is so elegant, soft, feminine, and this is a very unique fragrance. It was created by Jacques Polch, which was the father of the current Chanel in-house perfumer Olivier Polch. And Jacques Polch created a lot of masterpieces for Chanel, but I think this one is the most unique fragrance from Chanel because it's soft, feminine, and complex at the same time. I almost don't know a person who doesn't like this fragrance. And my preference is the Eau de Parfum version of this fragrance. It is a very complex fragrance and it's very hard here to distinguish the top notes, heart notes, and base notes of the fragrance because the fragrance somehow is complex and you can feel the different notes at different times of the day. The opening of this fragrance is very soft, floral, a little bit woody, and with a soft citrus undertone. It's very hard to describe this fragrance because it tends to change all the time, and I find that this is one of the fragrances that smells completely different on different people. Somehow it works with the body chemistry of different people, and I absolutely love the elegant scent of this fragrance. And this is a fragrance that has a little bit of peach. It has rose, jasmine, vanilla, peony, orange blossom, and all of the notes in this fragrance are so well blended. I think that intentionally the perfumers created this fragrance in a way that we cannot really distinguish the top notes, heart notes, and base notes of the fragrance. It is just an explosion of different flowers, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that this is a floral fragrance. It is very soft, sophisticated, elegant. This is probably one of the most elegant fragrances that I have ever tried and smelled. So this one is probably my #1 recommendation. If you don't have this fragrance, I think that this fragrance deserves to be part of anyone's luxury fragrance collection. My #2 is going to be Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and I have a big bottle and a small bottle, and I have one bottle that is a little bit smaller with a roller applicator, but I don't know where it is right now, so you can really tell that I love this fragrance so much. And Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet has been love at first sniff. And I can still remember the first time when I tried this fragrance. It was in Milan, of course, and I was walking in the center. I was in a rush because it was raining and I was not very happy about that. And there was a girl in front of the biggest Sephora in Milan, and she was spraying this fragrance on little ribbons and she was giving to people, and I just said, oh, whatever. I just took the ribbon and I went away. And when I smelled this fragrance, I just had to come back. I had to come back to Sephora and I had to pick up a bottle of this because I was so in love with this fragrance. So this is not a complex fragrance. It's very feminine, girly, and I would say innocent fragrance. It has roses, peony, mandarin. It has a touch of peach just to make it a little bit more delicious, but not too delicious. And it has a base of white musk. And I love this fragrance from the beginning until the end. One downside of this fragrance is that the longevity longevity is not great, but on the other hand, the fragrance is just so beautiful. For a lot of people, the longevity of this fragrance is an issue, but for me, this is not an issue because I just love the way it smells and I love to spray it also in my hair, on my clothes, and that's how I get the best of this fragrance and I get more longevity of this fragrance. It's true that on the skin, it lasts not more than 3 to 4 hours. But on the other hand, it's such an innocent and beautiful fragrance. I think this is one of the masterpieces created by François de Manchy, so I really enjoy this fragrance. My next recommendation is a fragrance that I currently don't have, but it's again from the Miss Dior line, and this is the Miss Dior Rose and Roses. I have a full review of this fragrance on my blog. It's a very simple fragrance. It is a little bit more intense and a little bit, I would say, more fruity than Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. But in general, if you like Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, I think you're going to enjoy also Miss Dior Rose and Roses. It's a very happy fragrance, simple yet chic and elegant. I would describe it as romantic and radiant fragrance. It has geranium, roses, bergamot, and a base of white musk. It doesn't have too many notes. It is quite simple, but I just love it, and that's why I'm recommending. Next on my list, and this is on my Sephora wish list because I only have a sample of this fragrance, is the Tom Ford Soleil Neige. Now, there have been a lot of controversial reviews about this fragrance. Some people love it, other people don't like it and are disappointed. For me, this is a beautiful fragrance that is suitable for all seasons because I can feel a beautiful combination of white flowers. It has jasmine, rose, orange blossom. In the base, it has benzoin and vanilla, and this is something that I really enjoy about this fragrance. Somehow it is fresh and floral at the same time, but the benzoin and vanilla add a lot of depth to the fragrance. It is, I think, suitable for all seasons, but it's just a very easy to wear fragrance. And I would describe it as a light floral fragrance, but it's not too floral. Still there is depth in this fragrance, but if you are into niche fragrances, you might not enjoy this fragrance because it's not very complex. Next on my list comes a timeless Chanel fragrance, and this is Coco Noir. I think that this fragrance is very beautiful. A lot of people think that this fragrance is very dark because the bottle is black, but that's not true actually. It's not dark, it's not that complex, it's actually a very wearable and very easy to wear fragrance. It is a warm, spicy, and a little bit of a woody scent. I would describe it as a fragrance that is somewhere in between Coco and Coco Mademoiselle, so it has that vibe of Coco Mademoiselle, but at the same time it's more grown up and it's a little bit woody, which I think it's very suitable for the season. The opening is a little bit citrusy because it has bergamot and grapefruit. The heart is rose and jasmine and geranium, and it has a touch of peach, which I think combines very well with the floral notes in this fragrance and also with the citrus openings. So the peach in this fragrance is not very prominent, but still it's there, and it adds a radiant note to this fragrance. And the base is sandalwood, tonka bean, and vanilla. And the sandalwood makes the fragrance a little bit woody. I think this is a very suitable fragrance for the season, and it's very classy, elegant, chic. And once again, it's not a dark fragrance, so if you're afraid of the black bottle, don't be afraid. It is actually very wearable. It's not as Chanel No. 5. It is actually not a dated fragrance. It is very easy to wear scent, and it's quite mass appealing, I would say. I know I said there were going to be only 5 fragrances, but I'm going to count Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet and Miss Dior Rose and Roses as one fragrance because they come from the same line, and I'm going to share one more fragrance with you, and this is Trésor Midnight Rose, and this is one of my all-time favorite fragrances. It is soft, floral, woody, a little bit fruity fragrance. I think this is a fragrance that it's one of my most complimented fragrances. So this fragrance always gets me so many compliments. Men usually love this fragrance very much because it is a little bit delicious. In the opening, it has raspberry. It has hard notes of rose and jasmine, pink pepper and peony, and then in the base it has vanilla and musk. I would say that it's a very girly fragrance. I would say slightly delicious. So these were my top 5/6 fragrance recommendations for the Sephora sale. I hope you're going to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Let me know what is your favorite fragrance and what is one fragrance that you can't live without. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!